Hi, I'm Leah Cifario with Rock and Roll Industries Magazine, and I'm here at Dargenzio Winery in Burbank today with Randy Rhoads' sister, Kathy Rhoads. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Great, thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Tell us a little bit about the winery. When did you start it, and how did you meet your husband Richard and get involved with Dargenzio Winery?
Well, actually, it's an interesting story because when I met my husband, they were woodworkers, cabinetry makers. So when you're in the winery, everything that you see that's wood, his family made.
Wow.
And what's really an interesting story that not many people know is at Musonia, where my mom has her music school, years ago before my husband and I were even born, my husband's father built the cabinetry in Musonia.
Wow.
So it's like a really bizarre connection. So there's karma, like somewhere way back.
Yeah.
That was destined to be that we meet each other.
That's amazing.
So anyway, so long story short, his family lived on the street, Burbank Boulevard, and used to be their home. And then they did the cabinet shop. And then long behold, many, many years later, my husband has a twin brother who lives up in Sonoma County, Santa Rosa, started getting into wine and started really getting into it, and we thought, wow. Yeah. Anyway, so he buys the best grapes he can buy and makes the best wine he can. So we are called a boutique winery. Anyway, so we decided that we wanted to honor Randy, my brother, thinking that around his 50th birthday, or actually maybe 53, I think it would have been, we wanted to make a wine in honor of him. So that's what we did, and that's the Randy Rhoads wine. We decided on a cab because the cab wood store, rather than a Pinot or a Zin, has a life shelf. This would store for at least 30 years, and you could open it up and it'll be phenomenal in 30 years. The longer it ages, the better it gets. So that's kind of how we did that and chose that. But basically, my husband and I don't know if I should go a little backwards. We met, through my mom's church. I used to play the guitar for the youth group, and he came with a mutual friend on the retreat because I would play for the youth retreats, and I got to go on these retreats free anyway, if I played the guitar. And that's how I met my husband. Nonetheless, it's 40 years later. 3 kids later, and it's all good.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. So he knew Randy very well. I think Randy was about 12 or 13 when he met him, and he's seen the progress of Randy's music, how he evolved, and his whole life story pretty much in a nutshell. And so it's a very interesting, bittersweet story. So. And this is my way of honoring him. I don't play that much anymore. I'm sure my brother would be very upset with me that I don't, because we started lessons together in Musonia. Randy was 7 and I was, Randy was 7, I was 9, and we took lessons together. And every Friday night we go down to Musonia and take a lesson. And my brother, Doug Kelly, I call him, he was a drummer. And he would play the drums and take drum lessons and teach drum lessons. And we would have jams on Friday night, and all of our friends would come down and we'd all play, and it was a great time, a phenomenal time in our lives. I mean, you can't replace those days. And very good memories. And, anyway, that's kind of basically it, unless you have some questions involving any of those statements. We'll be happy to indulge in any of those areas for you.
So when you and Randy were taking lessons together at Musonia, you were both studying guitar?
We started with acoustic. We both started with acoustic, and right away he knew he was going to gravitate towards electric. I stayed with acoustic. I kind of was favoring like folk guitar, like Mary Travers picking, Peter Paul and Mary, that kind of a thing. And he always loved what I did and admired what I did, and I always admired what he did. But we went in different realms, but it was all good. So, and sadly I don't really play that much anymore, but I think one day I should resurrect it.
You should.
I should.
You should.
I know I should. He would be mad at me, like I said. He would be mad. But anyway, so it was a great time in our lives. Every Friday we go down to Musonia. I think you've just been there. I hope you got lots of good pictures, and it looks just like it did when we grew up. And that's where we hung out, and that's where was my mom's passion and her love and her baby. And it's still a working school of music, and you know, it's all good. I hope it still perpetuates into the future for Randy. That was his stomping ground and his love. And he loved teaching there, by the way. He loved teaching, and he was a great teacher. His students loved him. So.
What kind of person was your brother?
Oh, wow. If I had to describe him, I would say he was a very sweet, humble, kind, shy, like people would always tell him he's a rock star. He would be like, yeah, no. Like he'd be in denial. Like he never acknowledged how great he was. But as the years progressed and seeing him, you know, like, I mean, obviously when we're kids, you know, you don't really get how talented he is because you're not comparing him to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But as we grew up and we started going like to Quiet Riot concerts, because that was his baby, and then you'd see the people respond and we're like, wow. And then, you know, years later you go on to like an Ozzy Osbourne concert where there were like mega people, and you're like, oh my gosh. And they'd be like so into him.
Yeah.
It'd be like the concert was about him. And even in Quiet Riot too, like, I think I really saw it when he started playing like at the Starwood and at the nightclubs, the local nightclub scene in LA. And I would go with my friends, and some of them are here tonight in my wine room visiting here that grew up with us across the street. And we go and we like, wow, everybody really likes him, not just us.
Yeah.
It was just like crazy. So we always thought we just liked him because he was our brother, but it was very evident early on that his talent was huge at a young age. So that was kind of special. But the one thing I will say about Randy is that he was never without a guitar. Once he got that guitar in his hand, he never left that guitar. He would go play in the shower because before he had like the right kind of amps and acoustics, he'd be in the shower because he thought, wow, it sounds so cool in here. That's like when he's like 8 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, so not when he's older, but, and then, you know, as things evolved and his talent got huger and just practicing, and he just loved that guitar. It was never out of his hand. And that's the truth. That is really the truth. But he was a talent, and it wasn't just the talent. He was like a package, if I can explain it. He was the looks, the talent, the passion, the humbleness. He wasn't the rock star, ego, druggy, you know, wow, let's take this for what it's worth. He was just a sweet, humble, good guy. And I think anybody that really knew him would tell you that. And that was his special charm. And I think what everybody loved. He had this kind of charisma about him that when you met him, and anybody that knows him, they'll know what I'm talking about. It was just like this charisma about him that everybody loved him. And I'm not just saying it because he's my little brother. Everybody got it. Everybody got it. If you knew him, you met him, you got it. And he was a prankster, and he wasn't perfect. I'm not trying to make him perfect. He was a practical joker. He had his little moments, and but he was a special person. And you know, everybody that knew him knew it, and they'll get what I'm saying by the